Hello, welcome back. Going to the second half here of Drop Frames. Let's talk games. Zeke, we're going to have you
Yo,
start us off. Where do you want to begin?
hold on. I'm fixing my Morb here. Give me a second. There we go.
No problem.
All right. I'm ready to talk games. Let's go.
Where would you like to begin, Ezekiel the
Where would
third?
I like to begin? Well,
Yeah.
let's begin at the game that I just finished yesterday, and I really enjoyed, and it was really fun to play with chat. It's called I'm on Observation Duty
Got it.
5.
Oh,
It's the
yeah.
fifth installment of the game. This game is one of the funnest games that I've in recent memory that I absolutely recommend playing with your Twitch chat, because it's kind of difficult to do on your own, because the basic premise of the game is that you are a la like Five Nights at Freddy's. You're in charge of cameras, right? And they give you 6 locations that you are supposed to spot weird shit happening, kind of like it's like mix of Five Nights at Freddy's and Paranormal Activity.
Okay.
So you spot weird shit that happens, and there's like different categories of stuff that you can find, like object missing, or object disappearance, which means an object that was on the scene before is now gone. Like a laptop on one of those tables is now missing after you go back there. There is like object movement, which can mean either you see it actually move, which are the easy ones to spot because you see it on the screen, like actually like moving and sliding across whatever, or it has moved from one spot to another spot while you are away from that scene, kind of a thing. There is abyssal presence, which is basically like a hole, like a black spot in the scene that just gets bigger and bigger. And those are the ones that, like, there's a little bit of like intensity and urgency to those, because if it gets too big, it like sucks you in and it's the game over. So you have to spot all of these things. The more you let anomalies, they call them anomalies, more you let anomalies go without being fixed, reported. I think it's like the limit is like 3 or 4 of them. If you get like 4 anomalies that are go unchecked, it's also game over. What you want to do is you want to last 6 hours. So you start at midnight and then you go to 6 a.m. Now, each hour is about 5 minutes. So a whole round is like 30 minutes. So you go through these rounds and like it's the thing that makes it really cool is like you keep looking at these same scenes over and over again, and you keep like second guessing yourself, because any object, like literally any object, anything you see in the scene is apt to change, move, disappear, anything like that. So like you sit here and you stare at these scenes. Like I think if I did it by myself, I would have to do the scenes many times, like more than I did before, like with chat. Like in order to conquer some of or to beat some of the levels, me and chat had to do the scenes 3-4 times a piece. I can't even imagine. It'd probably be like 10-15 times if I was doing it on my own, so I would absolutely have memorized what the room looks like in a normal state. But also, there are these moments where, like, you look forward to the intruder anomalies. And the intruder anomalies can be just like a disembodied head laying in the sink looking at you. Or it can be like a dude in the grocery store, like, stroking a banana, like an actual banana. Not his banana, but a banana. Like, just going, like that. Like, it's fucking weird and creepy. Most of the time, the intruders are either they look like Slendermen or they're just completely naked. But when you come upon them, it's just like super creepy. Do you remember there's an old website, I don't know if it's still around or not, but it was Shit Bricks, Brix. And it was like, they'd show you an image, and the whole tagline was, when you see it, you'll shit bricks. And it was like, you'd look at an innocuous image, and then you'd see the thing that they're talking about, and it'd be like a, whoa! Like, you didn't see it there. Like, you're looking at this image of a cabin, You're like, oh, it's a pastoral scene, nice cabin, and then you see like eyes and a face under the stairs looking directly at the camera, and it just startles you.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this is. It happens. That kind of happens in this game. So it's not like
Is that the
not like
game?
a ton of jump scares per se, but it's just like, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Jesus Christ, fucking, there's a guy right there. So it was really fun to play with chat, and it took a few times. And I will say, if the developers are watching this, let me just pull up the Steam blurb here. Notovia. Now there have been a few of these games. This is the 5th iteration of I'm on observation duty. So there have been other games that are similar to this. So they've been at this a while. But I will say, hey Notovia, some of those game overs, fucking bullshit. Let me just say that right now. Like, there was a couple of game overs where I was in like the 5th minute or the 5th hour, ready to win the game, and then it's like you come upon a scene and you have to sometimes you have to, like, you can't switch from the scene if it's like an intruder. They won't let you like switch out, and sometimes you have to switch out before the intruder like comes too close to the camera and basically like gets you. So it's like towards the end of the round when you're about to win and that shit happens, that's a little bit of bullshit. But all told, the game is very, very fun. It's very tense all the time. And I had a super, super good time yelling at my chat for pointing out shit that was always there. Like, was that bottle on the desk always there? Yes, it was always there. And just screaming at them like, pay attention, idiot. You know, and then I like putting people on like certain duties. Like I would grab people in chat and be like, you're on train duty. Okay? If you see a train appear, or you're on book duty, if you see this book move, you shout it out in chat. Like you put each like individual people on things. And it was just a blast. It was real chill. It's just, you can control it with just a mouse if you want to. It's just basically just switching scenes, and then having chat like scream out like carpet, hallway, carpet. And you go back and you look at, oh, the carpet is bigger, the carpet is stretching. But there's like cool eerie things that happen too, like the one of the anomalies is called distortion, and distortion, like something will like the volleyball net back there. At one point it goes, and it just gets like slowly super fucking huge inside of the gymnasium. Also, look at, pause it right here. Can you pause it?
Not fast enough. I can go
Just
back for a split second.
a tiny bit back. Yep.
Let's see.
That's fine.
Oh, never mind. We're gonna just have to let it play out.
That's fine. No, that's totally fine. See in the back there, the sports have changed.
Oh yeah.
From running, swimming, golfing, stretching, biking, and pushing wheelchair people. Like, that's like the sport. It was like weightlifting or boxing, but that's the anomaly. Like, the fucking sign in the back has changed from weightlifting to, I guess that's a sport somewhere. Something like that. So it's a good sense of humor in the game too. Sometimes the banana man, and sometimes like you start to have names for like the anomalies, like the banana man, the floor shitter.
Hey, Zeke,
there's a naked dude squatting, looking like he's taking a shit on the linoleum.
What about the briefcase?
I was timing. Yeah. I was timing people the fuck out for that. Like,
what's the briefcase?
I have no idea. Somebody said ask him about
it's
the briefcase.
fine. In one of the scenes, in the train station, there's a briefcase that is always underneath the phone, the phone booth. It's always there. And it's one of the things that people who just come in, just learn the rules of the game, they're like, was that briefcase always there? 100 times. I'm not kidding. At least 100 times. People are like, oh, there's a briefcase. That wasn't always there. And you just start getting fucking annoyed. It's always there. Anybody who mentions the fucking briefcase again is getting a timeout. Can we add that as a word, an auto timeout word? Can we add that?
But I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but I mean, what was it always there?
It's true.
Was the briefcase?
Did you check the clips? Did you have people?
I'm going to Morb out on
Are you
dude.
sure?
I'm gonna.
No, please don't Morb out. Not that we will get DMCA'd for that. Don't Morb out.
Swear to God.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't Morb out.
I mean,
but yeah,
I see what you're saying, but
it took me a few days, like not a few streams, but like it was one of my like we have an hour or two at the end of the day. Let's go back and see if we can't knock out a couple of these. And we eventually got all of them. Didn't get all the achievements though, because it's an achievement. It doesn't really mean anything, so you can't really knock it. But like a couple of the achievements in the game are random. Like you just have to get lucky.
Oh, if the thing pops up or not.
Yeah, the thing happens at the time. Like I wanted the thing to happen because it was a cool thing, but it never did. So I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
But I actually want to play like the previous, at least Observation Duty 4, because it's similar to this. But I heard it like if you go back too far, it's not the same kind of game or something. It's not as good or whatever. But I definitely would check out the fourth one or a new one if they decided to make one at some point. Just a fun, cool game.
Yeah. What are they asking for it? What's it called?
They are asking $9.99 for it.
That seems about right. Yeah.
Yep. And you can get the I'm on Observation Duty collection bundle. For it says 10 something, but that's so it's like 20 something, like give or take 15 to $20 for the entire like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Got it.
Because the first one's $1.99, second one $2.99, $2.99, and then $4.99 for the bundle, which I'm probably gonna get right now.
There you go. Grab it up.
Yeah.
The big release of the week was Sniper Elite 5. You did a little hashtag ad for it, but doesn't mean we can't talk about it. How I've seen that a lot of people on Twitch have grasped onto this because there's not much out right now. How was your time with it? What did you play? The single player, multiplayer, a little bit of all? What'd you do?
I played single player.
Okay.
And it was okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's about the
fun.
Sniper Elite experience.
It was the Sniper Elite experience. I wasn't particularly grabbed by the characters or the world or the game in general because I'm always willing to try it and it's fun to play when I play it, but it's the kind of thing where if there's like other more interesting, more my speed games out there, then I definitely would probably prefer them as I have in the past. But yeah, I mean, it was a fun 2 hours. It's definitely a solid Sniper Elite entry. And if you like that kind of thing, I think you'll have a lot of fun in this one too. They did kind of do this kind of nice, more open world kind of thing with it. So, like you're putting like more of a sandbox and you're given a bunch of side missions you can do, or you can just do the main one if you want to.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. I think fans will definitely like that. But yeah, it's more Sniper Elite and it was fun for the time I played it, but I definitely was more there are other games out right now that I'm far more interested in. So I kind of fell back to them pretty quickly.
Did you get invaded at all? That's like the big
I didn't.
thing.
No, I
Really?
I made sure it was all on, but nobody invaded me. I know a streaming friend of the show, Sacril, has been doing invasions. And they look kind of fun, look a little janky at times, but yeah, I mean that could be a very cool thing to do if that's kind of your thing. But
yeah, it's like a Dark Souls invasion type situation.
So this is like the game is called Sniper Elite, and like a sniper invasion, it sounds like I'm obviously wrong, but it sounds like the most boringest like thing because you're just like, all right, I'm set up. The other guy's okay, I'm set up, and you just sit there.
You're sitting there.
Well, the thing is, I think the idea is that the sniper that comes in is kind of like an NPC enemy kind of thing, just a better enemy. So of course the person that you're invading is still going to want to be playing his game. So you can kind of figure out them. I did see when I was playing soccer at one point where it straight up said on the screen, like, you have been detected. So it makes me wonder if the person that you invade can just see you on the map or something, in which case that's going to be a lot more interesting for the person invading.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it looks about the Sniper Elite experience. It's also on Game Pass, right? you remember if
it's on Game Pass.
Okay. That seems about prices right.
Oh.
That's one thing we definitely could. But we're pushing during the sponsorship
stream,
thing where it's like, hey, just go try it, man. Just go try it. Like if this is your thing, go try it. Go play it right now.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Sniper Elite sponsored you to make a stream, to do a stream, and one of your emotes is a stormtrooper like representing how good you shoot. Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely not. For the record, that is my Cat Letho in a generic space battle
Yeah, it's
trooper
not a
helmet. It has
stormtrooper
nothing to do
thing.
with the Star Wars franchise. And frankly, I'm rather insulted you.
Oh
even
shit!
suggested
Sorry.
that.
I didn't
Mouse
think
is
about
watching,
that.
Zeke. Stop.
Sorry about that.
The mouse
Come on,
has
man.
ears everywhere. Stop it.
Oh, I'm gonna kill you, dude. It was not Star Wars. I didn't say anything.
It was that guy.
That was
right there.
him.
It was him.
That was
don't
his
point to
long
me.
jump.
It was him. You gotta go. No. Yeah.
No, DP's on
There you
first.
go. Okay.
Yeah, I'm blocking and I'm
All
shielding.
right.
I'm shielding.
That actually brings up something that I forgot to bring up during the news. Did you guys see the emote attribution? You can put the is that
And the artist
a
badge.
new thing?
Yeah.
Artist badge too.
And the artist badge,
Cool.
but they also like you can attribute all your emotes to the artist that made them, which I thought was fucking awesome. And I honestly was confused. It was like I put the artist name in there and it said pending. I'm like, why the fuck is it pending? Just approve it, Twitch. Oh, came to find out that it's the artist who has to approve the attribution because you don't want to be attributed to the wrong shit, which absolutely totally makes more sense. Speaking of, if you're watching, Julia, approve my emotes. Just approve it. Just say yes. Just say you made them. Okay, they're not that bad.
Funny, unfortunate thing that came with that though is like take VTubers for example. VTubers generally have fleets of artists that are assisting them with all that they do, from riggers to animators to like item animators to item creators, all sorts of stuff. They limited the artist badge to 5. So what that inevitably did, unfortunately, is made it so like a lot of VTubers are like, I'm not picking my favorite 5. Like, are you trying to get me in trouble with my team? Like, I'm not doing that. Sure, so they've understandably sworn not to use it. So I really hope Twitch. There's no reason. I mean, he gave us 50 VIP badges. Give us 50 artist badges. Who cares? Who cares if somebody makes every person their chat an artist? Who cares? Just let people do it, because a lot of people do have, especially VTubers, have like 15 plus people helping them run all of the different little pieces of art that make. They have overlay artists, they have emote artists, they have model artists, model animators, they have riggers. Like, yeah, they need more than 5. TLDR.
What is the honest reason you think they limited VIP and artist badges?
Oh, I think it's purely arbitrary, because they don't want people just there's an idea that you could VIP everyone in your chat, or they want them to be there's a middle ground between, it's not a very important badge if you just give it to everyone. Now, granted, the argument is, well, who cares? Let a streamer do what they want. But I think the idea is that they're kind of adding more value to it by making it more exclusive. So, but of course, that doesn't really work at all with an artist badge. So there's no reason that you should be limited to 5 with an artist badge. But I think in some other ways, it's just arbitrary stuff. So.
Yeah, 5 is like that was a weird choice. Like 20. If
some
I was
people
in that meeting,
alone.
What about 5? Like 5? Are you out of your mind? Yeah. 20
some people
at the minimum.
Dude, some streamers have their viewers submit their emotes. So I mean, they have like an emote set of 30, and like they have 20 people that have contributed emotes, and it's constantly changing. So the idea that you would then have to pick 5 of those people, it's just, hopefully they will fix that.
Yeah. Well, I picked 5 artists, and they know that they're my favorite over the other ones, but they already knew that. I like some people better than others.
It's true.
No,
that's why you gave me one of the artist badges, and I haven't even made anything in your channel.
Well, now, I mean, they know that now, I guess.
Twitch is going to mark it down to 3.
I like thinking I'm creative.
Messing it up for everyone. Jeez. Unbelievable.
Yeah. No, but seriously, like, I want to give out artist badges to anyone who's ever, I've ever commissioned for one job. Like one little job, or, a shirt here, an emote there. Like, Why not? It helps them, and it doesn't hurt my channel at all. And if I want to give out fucking hundreds of VIP badges in my channel, everybody gets a VIP when you come into my channel. Who gives a shit?
Even cooler, imagine if you moused over an artist badge in someone's channel, that we would have a small 255 character box or something that we could put how they contributed to the channel. So like you mouse over my artist Triwar, and it's like he makes overlays and profile art. You mouse over Juliet, she makes the emote set. You mouse over this guy, he does the backgrounds. Like that would be so freaking cool. Even better if we could like include links to how to get to those artists. But anyway, maybe in another iteration.
Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see. It's a good. Hey, TLDR though, really, like real talk, it's a good first step. They need to add more, and they can change it and make it better. But the idea that we can acknowledge artists with a badge, credit where it's due. Good first step. That's cool. Like that's good. That's great. We've asked for it for a while. It's cool. Baby steps. So as long as they keep working with it, 2 thumbs up.
So you can, in fact, click on the emote, open the emote, see who did it. Their name is a link to their Twitch channel. So
yes, that part's cool. Absolutely. The emote attribution is cool. Absolutely. But the thing is that only works for emotes. There's a lot of other art that goes into channels that we would love to be able to also give DAP to.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Twitch and iterating on existing products, I'm sure this is about as much as we're going to get.
not the best roadmap.
Yeah.
They're really good at getting a team together and making a product. Then they dissolve the team. So at that point, then the team moves on to different things. So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
It's just like, hey guys, here's an ice cream cone. Like, it's just the cone. Yeah, that's what we said. It's an ice cream cone. Like, well, this isn't bad, but can you put the ice cream on it too, please?
I'm pretty sure we said an ice cream cone. I mean, you should have kept the wax out of your ears there, man. I mean, it's kind of on you for making assumptions, don't you think? This is kind of your fault.
How about 5 badges? You want to make it 4? Test me. You want to make it 4?
We were thinking 1 badge, but we thought how much we liked you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't there just one emote artist that does it for every channel?
I think that's how it works. Yeah, that's Twitch's understanding, I think. What's this game? Keplerth? How do you
Keplerth?
Okay, that's what we're going with.
Yep, Keplerth. It is basically Terraria in a top-down environment. It's a Terraria game that looks like RimWorld. It is very, very similar to Terraria. It is an open world progression RPG. You fight a boss on the surface that gives you access to the first part of the underground. You fight the first part of the underground that gives access to the second part of the underground, etc., etc. Bosses drop unique loot. The entire world is procedural. There's tech trees to move through. There is building. There's farming. There is animal taming. There is everything you'd pretty much expect from an open world progression game of this type. Had a lot of fun with it. Made it pretty far. I'd say probably like maybe 2/3, 3/4 the way through the game. Kind of ran out of steam a little bit, but I did put a lot of hours into it. There wasn't really a lot kind of pulling me to the end, but I did have fun with it. And for people that like open world progression games, I think it is definitely a cool game to check out. It was made by like 3 people. So yeah, no, for the record, it was not made with RimWorld assets. It is a RimWorld looking game, but the devs actually released a statement because they got so many people saying that it looked like they ripped graphics from RimWorld, and they were like, no, we just really like the style. We appreciate Prison Architect and RimWorld, but no, they handmade everything, and it does look similar. But it's actually they say this art style actually harkens back to like older style games, which it does. So yeah, if you go much later in the playthrough, you can see I built like a whole little base dealie around that.
We'll find it
around that area. Yeah.
Let's see.
It was fun. It was pretty cool.
I love.
So not as addictive as either one of the games.
For some reason, like it didn't. It was really cool for like the first 20-ish hours. I was doing the base building and I got a big farm going and all sorts of stuff. But I think the thing about this that kind of really slowed my roll a little bit is when I started fundamentally realizing that the entire game is just backing up and clicking. Like there's not their bosses, and the bosses have some cool mechanics, but the top down way that it works, it gets a little old. Like even like every iteration is just kind of the same thing over and over with larger numbers. Numbers go up a bit. So it I just kind of ran out of it. I realized like I didn't really care about beating the next boss at one point, and that's when I realized it was probably time to move on.
Mm.
But I mean, here's the thing: you could argue similarly a little bit in like games like Terraria, although Terraria does a good job with making each biome feel very unique as you move through it. So, but yeah, it was a good experience and definitely worth the price if you like this kind of thing.
Is it 1.0 or early access?
Just entered 1.0. It just entered
Oh,
1.0 like
okay.
a week or two ago. Yeah.
So that
Last week, I wanna say.
they are aware of the combat and they're
Oh
okay
yeah,
with it being just backing up. Yeah.
I think again, I think it's a preference thing. It's not that the combat's bad. It's just a preference thing. It's you know, it's I just got a little tired of it. Um, yeah.
I get that. I mean, if it is samey, once you've already, I guess the fun part then for you was building the base out.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you go like to the very last VOD, and look at like where the base is at that point, like you know, I've got like 5 stables and a full farm, and you know, I have guests that are there with a jukebox and a dance floor for them because they rent areas and I make money off them. I've got like 15 different types of crops going. It was yeah, it was a big thing.
Let's see. How many episodes? Oh, 30. Oh yeah, jeez. Wait, what's going on with the
Oh,
back
I played a lot of it, man.
story stuff for the background?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So there's actually like a little story in this area. I'm in this guy like you can see on the right there. He's building a spaceship, and you're helping him with things as he kind of like
Oh,
gets pieces and stuff to leave the planet. So
oh, there it goes. Oh yeah, you got a giant
yeah,
thing.
you can see like I got a big old farm over there, and if I go to the top left, there's like you know I'm breeding like goats and sheep and chickens, and you know got all sorts of stuff going on up there. And
Are any of the like weapons randomized numbers, or is it all like set in
so
stone?
it's got some very cool things in it. One thing is the gene system, where you basically get like rares off almost everything in the game, and the gene system gives you like almost like a bacteria style amoeba looking power ups, and you have a grid, and you have to kind of put them all in that grid to make your build essentially. So that system was kind of cool. And also on top of that, there's that green orb you see in the middle there.
Yeah.
That's the plating pool, and what you do is put rare materials in it, and then like a weapon. And if you look at the weapons, it's kind of hard to see here, but if you look at the weapons and armor at the very bottom right of the screen where the inventory is, there are these 4 little dots under them, and all of those are random attributes. So you can
Uh,
basically create an item and then put it in the plating pool and like enchant it essentially, and that gives you like a random spread of item power ups and at different levels of effectiveness. So there is definitely an RNG element to all of the different things. There's also tons of accessories you can get, like in Terraria. You can see I've got 5 equipped on the bottom right there. Some of them do like very palpable different things for your character, and yeah, it's got a good amount of just kind of cool little things that kind of set it apart for sure.
Looking at the price, currently 25% off, $11.24. Seems about right price.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think the right person will get like 30 plus hours out of this game, possibly even you know significantly more if they want to go crazy with the base building and such.
Sure.
Is there a like a end goal that is kind of
There is. There's
Final
a
boss or something.
it's an open world progression game, so there is a final boss style thing. There is a final
Okay.
challenge for you to do.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Do you know how like you said 30 hours? Is that like were you
30 hours, I think, is what it would take to about kill the end boss. I had a couple bosses to go, but again, I in my 30-ish hours. But again, I spent a lot of time doing a lot of different things and just exploring at times and things like that. So if you were just kind of focused on the main quest, it would I would say 30-ish hours is probably what you'd be looking at.
Oh, that's a good question. Is it mod compatible?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't
I didn't
know?
use
Okay.
any mods.
Okay.
Sure.
Because that's one of the like huge things about RimWorld, right? Was that it was like totally moddable.
Yeah.
And there's tons of them out there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
Chad
people
is
are
saying, yeah,
yeah,
it's moddable.
workshop support. Cool.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
There you go.
Yeah. That's good.
Super cool.
Let's see. I played SnowRunner for the first time. Did you guys ever touch base with SnowRunner? Did you ever jump into that?
That's the snow driving game? You drive big trucks in snow?
Yeah, funny enough, the VOD footage is going to have 0 snow because I was only in the, the front, the first level. This game's like 200
You
ish
should
hours.
call it Fraud Runner.
It's like 200 ish hours if you want to play everything. It's
200?
it's a very, 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 very large game. I was not aware of that when I first started playing. This game's
Real
really
quick,
cool.
let me just pause you before you get on. Oh, that's why we're looking at your shoulder, because there's a steering wheel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, why did you tell your chat to be like, if I slouch, you let me know. The shoulder will show you I'm slouching. Like,
No,
I didn't know
you
there
made
was
me
a wheel. Okay,
self-conscious.
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's the steering wheel that we got from this. Yeah, this game's actually surprisingly great. Zeke, I will be 100% honest. I don't think this game's for you.
Really?
It's incredibly slow. They call it the Dark Souls of driving. It's like when you look at this screen when I first started playing, it's like, oh, that looks like some mud. Now I look at this screen after like 20 hours and I'm like, yep, that's a nightmare. You got to have X tires that are big enough to get through that. And you need a little bit more. You need I can't pull this car with that Scout because I don't have enough torque on my car. So I got to get a bigger engine, which means I got to bring another truck over here. Blah, blah, blah. Like it's not your wheelhouse. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong.
I'm just saying, like, what you just described to me sounds terrible.
Yeah.
However, I did play and complete in one sitting of 13 hours my summer car. So,
but that's a
there
building
is a point.
thing.
But yeah, I was gonna say there's a point in a game where like a game becomes zen, and I'm wondering, does this game give you that feeling, like that you can zen and do stuff?
Yes, I would say that exists for me, but it didn't happen until I was about 15 hours in. The first like couple of hours with this game are rough because you are given you can buy different trucks. Different trucks are obviously better stats. Those stats allow you to get further in the game, blah, 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 blah. There's different types of trucks. This is called a scout vehicle. Obviously, it's just for like getting around. That truck behind me. So the story for this game, it's very, very brief. Is that you are kind of saving different locales from a detrimental storm where just water flooded everything. And you're going around and making bridges, delivering different types of materials to these bridges or these paths, or clearing rocks, or finding a random trailer that's just kind of stuck in a certain area and making sure that you take that trailer back to your base so then you can use that trailer to do something else much later on in the game. This is the map right here. This is the first area. I think there's 12 of these, or maybe 9 different locales with multiple maps. It's like stupidly huge. And you drive, you can't get around super fast because you're in giant trucks and you're traversing areas that are just filled with a massive amount of mud, sometimes water. Later levels, there's snow, there's ice. If you don't have ice tires, you can't get through the ice effectively, so you're just sliding around, or your car just doesn't function anymore. And there's 2 options there. One, you can just return it to the garage, or you can play the way that me, Strippin, and Gassy Mexican were playing, where you can't just return a car. You have to bring every car back to the garage. So you go and get a different car, drive it out to the car that got stuck, unstuck that car, or unstick that car, I guess, to make a weird term, and then drive both back to the garage. Is ultimately how we were playing. And the fact that I had a wheel with force feedback made this game just a massive amount of fun. I don't know if I would have had the same amount of fun with the wheel or with a controller. It's fully playable with a controller. It's also on Game Pass. If you're at all curious, this is the Game Pass version. It's all there. It's the full version of the game. But there's a ton of DLC for this. They've got 7 seasons of DLC, I think, for it. And all those, Barry's saying in my chat, 27 maps / zones as of phase 7. So there's 27 of these right here with a ton of different things to do. And
is there a universal wheel that everyone uses with this, or is it pretty whatever wheel you got?
It takes a lot of wheels. The one that I'm using here is I think it's an entry-ish level wheel. It's the Logitech G29.
Okay.
And it comes with the wheel and the pedals, and it's just, you plug it in, the game recognizes it all. You don't have to assign any buttons. It works straight from the get-go.
Now, I didn't see, do you play as a human being or you're just cars?
You're a human being, but you don't have a human avatar. You basically can hop around and teleport to cars.
Okay. I was wondering if this was right for RP.
Yeah, a little bit. You can definitely RP through this if you want. There's no in-game VoIP, so you'd have to use a Discord for that. But you could definitely, at least I don't think there's in-game VoIP. You could definitely just type to other people though. But it's got 4-player multiplayer, up to 4-player multiplayer.
No, it just seems like something like this big sandboxy kind of a thing is just like, a blank canvas for our peers to get, to go crazy in there. But if there's no like human avatars, that'd be kind of weird. I'd imagine.
Yeah. I had an absolute blast with it playing with Strippin. I was really bad the first day because you think you're just gonna get in here and like press go, and you're just gonna go straight down that road. When in actuality, you're gonna press go, get about 3 feet. The car's probably gonna tip over because you don't know how to attack the mud in front of you, and you'll go up on like a random valley of the mud where if the car's top heavy, it'll start to flip over. And if it flips over and you don't have an autonomous winch, then you have to bring another car out there and winch to the side of your car, pull that so then your car goes upright, and then drive both back. And it's like, oh, I didn't consider any of that. I thought I was just going to drive straight down this road. And this is, again, the first level. I spent like 20 hours in the first area of apparently 27 maps. So it gets crazier and crazier as you go along.
It kind of, it honestly, like, just the elevator pitch of this game sounds like we took Death Stranding's vehicle travel.
Yep.
And we just grabbed that shittiness out of the game and made a whole game out of it.
I'm going to verify.
Oh, go nuts.
SnowRunner came out. When did this game?
Drive Stranding.
I think SnowRunner came out before Death Stranding. Oh, no. SnowRunner came out in 2020, but it was based off of MudRunner 2, which was August 2018.
Shit.
So
this is an old game.
Yeah, it's a pretty old game. Yeah.
It was like, it's 2 years old. I thought it was brand new.
No. They've continually updated it, though. Like I said, I think season 7 launches in 2 days, which is going to have a new map that has races on it. So you can race other players through like different awful areas. Here's an example of the mud being shit. As I'm coming up on this turn, it just is a nightmare.
It just shows how big the gaming community is. This game has 7 seasons. It came out 2 years ago, and I'm only hearing about it now.
Yeah, this game's it also has a massive fan base. I was super surprised to see all the people that came into the chat and were just like, oh yeah, this game's fantastic. It's one of my favorite games. It's blah 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 blah, so difficult, etc. I was playing it offline yesterday. I had so much fun with it. It's the type of game where you were talking about like reaching a zen point. I'm in the second area now. You drive back and forth between the maps. Here's me stuck trying to eat food as well. I'm just pressing forward. Like
Dennis Reynolds with his cereal bowl.
I'm just trying to move forward through this and also eat spaghetti because I haven't eaten it all today. I think this is Friday or Thursday. But yeah, I reached like that zen point. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go and collect a couple upgrades around the map, and they like hide the upgrades, so you have to go to watchtowers. Watchtowers will kind of unlock everything in the map, and then or unlock certain parts of the map that show you like, oh, there's an upgrade here. And to get to that upgrade, you have to like go down a very steep mountain that has mud, and you got to make sure you winch a tree on your way down, or you're just going to topple over and fall all the way down, and your car's going to have to be towed. Blah 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 blah. But it's fun. It's a very strange game. I have never seen or played a game quite like this, and I'm glad that I jumped in. Like I said, I think the wheel elevated the experience. But from everyone that plays this, you can just use a Xbox controller or even a mouse and keyboard, which should probably just work fine.
Did you have pedals too, or just the wheel?
Yeah, I had pedals. I eventually got a
clutch.
Yeah, it's got a clutch. I got a gear shifter too, right here.
Wow,
plugged in. It's not. It was a little pricey. I think MSRP the wheel's $400 and the clutch is $60, or the shifter is $60, but when I bought it last weekend, at least on Amazon, it was on sale for like 40% off. So I got it for like $260 or something like that. And I, can use it with other racing games, which I probably will off stream, Forza or Assetto Corsa or something like that. But
well, and by the way, when JP says a little pricey, he's comparing it to like the professional jobbies, like $400.
He's comparing it to the actual cars.
compared to like some
Yeah.
of like the setups you can get.
Oh yeah, the actual like simulation grade steering wheels are insane. They're fanatics, I think is what they're called. They're insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like in the real world of racing, the steering wheels cost more than most cars. Cost more than like what people earn in an annual basis. They're the most expensive part of the car by a large margin. It's kind of crazy.
Can you drive stick IRL just out of curiosity?
No, I never learned how.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was also a fun part here is eventually I'm showing just like scout footage. I should show like truck footage. Yeah, so I got this like semi right here. And you have to learn to drive. If you've never driven with a trailer before, it's a learning process. You have to know how to drive with that. And
Oh,
like,
it's a thing. It's a thing.
Oh, many an afternoon spent with my dad yelling at me, trying to back in. Like, am I doing it right? Like, no, you're not, son. Look at me. Look this way. Look
yeah.
this way.
Right is left and left is right, and
damn
it's a whole. So, I think at this point I'm stuck and waiting for stripping. I don't know what I'm doing. This is like the first turn out of the garage here. Yeah, so this type of shit right here, where you're just driving like a massive truck, getting stuck in the mud, and realizing, well, I'm fucked. Or, well, I think I can winch to that tree over there, so let me do that and see if I can pull a little. Okay, I'm moving. We got some. Let's put it into low gear and see if okay, all right, we're through that little hump. Oh God, I'm in this next mud shit, and there's nothing to winch. It's that. Yeah. Very slow going process sometimes until you get better wheels.
Is it like part of the game that you can't prepare the road ahead of time? Like,
no, that was the one thing that was a little weird because like go get a bunch of like rocks and just fill this shit so when you go through it a third time, there's no water. Like fix the problem that way. But there's none of that. There are like downed power lines or like rocks that are blocking the road that you can go and deliver materials to, and then it'll like move those out of the way so you have that unlocked for the rest of your world. But there's never anything like pour rocks into this hell hole of a mud pit so that it's easier. The game, funny enough, on every restart, let me say it this way. The only time that your grooves that you put into the mud are ever reset is when you restart the game. So if you drive through the same area like 5 or 6 times, every time you do that, those tire lines are there and are deeper 5 or 6 times that amount.
I was just gonna say, do they get deep?
Yes.
Too deep, like bottom out?
Yeah. So
oh my God.
Strippin was driving a much bigger truck than I was originally when we first started playing, and he went through an area like 2 or 3 times. So I was driving that scout vehicle at the beginning, and I went straight into his tire lines, and I was stuck. The tires were too small; they couldn't like get through it, and so I had to winch off to the side and like pull the car out, and go around the mud entirely. And it all sounds like really in saying all that, it sounds like really annoying practice work, or busy work. But in doing it in practice, I had a ton of fun, and for some reason, I don't know.
Well, let's be real. 90% of games in general are just busy work. So I mean, if it's entertaining,
yeah,
busy
that's
work,
true. Yeah.
you're good.
It's a strange game. I as streamers and as viewers of streams, the number one thing people always do is relate it to a different game. I have nothing to relate this to. SnowRunner. Like I couldn't tell you. Maybe Death Stranding in the sense that you're making runs from point A to point B and there's a shit ton of obstacles in your path, but you're not walking, and you very rarely drive in Death Stranding. Yeah. Oh, and then the other thing, bottom left, there's fuel. I think the game just DC'd. There's fuel that you have to manage the entire time too. If you run out of fuel, you got to bring fuel to that car or it's not going to go anywhere. And so some cars are just there as like refueling stops, or some trailers are there as refueling stops. And that's a whole nother thing to manage.
So you said you teleport from car to car and stuff, but you can't do that with gas, I'm guessing.
In terms of teleporting gas, what do you mean?
Yeah. No, I'm
You got to
saying
drive out the gas, right?
You got to drive the gas out. Yeah.
That's yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you get stuck in the middle of the fucking boonies, out of gas, you got to get it out there yourself, drive it out there yourself, or have someone come give it to you.
Yep. Which is why multiplayer is the preferred way to play this game, because the best thing to do is to bring 2 people on one job.
Yeah.
For that very reason. If you're playing solo and you get stuck out there, you got to go back to your garage and drive another car out to wherever you're at to deliver that gas. Otherwise, you're screwed. Like here's a ridiculous. This is me. This is a ridiculous thing. So this truck got stuck. The car that I'm driving got stuck out here. It flipped. I brought this truck out here to get this Scout, the small car, out. The truck flipped.
Oh, look, they're mating.
Yeah, and so now I'm trying to get this car over to the other side so that I can flip this car and then bring both home. It was like an hour ordeal where I could just return both to the garage and skip all this, but the fun is like getting the cars unstuck ultimately and practicing that. But it's an absurd game to discuss. I think there's a moment here where I'm driving like a massive thing. I just gotta find it. It's all just Scout footage. Oh yeah, so this is one of the harder things. This is a rig semi-trailer that is a giant thing. There's quests all throughout the map which you can unlock. And so this quest had you drive from one corner of the map, which you had to go pick up this thing, to like a drill site. And the issue now is that this road is not flat and the trailer is bottomed out about halfway through it on the ground. And so I'm sitting here looking at this thing, trying to winch the trailer to the right side over the ground that it's bottomed out on.
Hold on. Is that like the challenge? Is that how you start?
No, you have to go and drive it from point A all the way to point B.
Okay, so the game didn't bottom it out for you.
I bottomed it out because I wasn't paying attention to the road. Correct.
I thought that might have been a challenge, like get out of this situation kind of a thing.
No, there are challenge modes in this, but no, it's just this area wasn't flat. And so the thing bottomed out. And now it's like, I don't know what the issue here now is. There's so many issues that you just don't even know it's an issue until it's an issue. And people that have played, they would join and be like, oh, this next turn, that one got me like 20 times. He's going to get fucked. And I'd be like, this turn's going to be a piece of shit. Or it's going to be a joke. Sure enough, 5 minutes later, I'm like, man, this turn sucks. This whole entire thing is dog shit. I hate this turn so much. It's like, yeah, it's a bitch. Everyone's got the same problems ultimately that they have to learn.
It's kind of like watching Bob Ross, it's just like, it's like by playing it, I would just be frustrated. It seems like I would be frustrated and bored. But watching it, it's kind of like, oh, he moved a foot.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he didn't move.
The multiplayer aspect is also hilarious because there were so many times where like I would get stuck. Strippin would come out to help me. Strippin would get stuck. We'd have to get a third car out there. The third car would come out. It would get stuck. We'd bring a fourth car out. The fourth car would winch to the third car. We'd slowly start pulling everything out. And now we got 4 cars just like hanging out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere that we just wasted an hour for because we're all idiots. Like we're just idiots when it comes to driving.
So out of curiosity, is there the audio? Is there music or is it just like
there's
just
music
you and
playing.
fucking nature?
It's you and nature. I turned the music off and it's actually playing the hard space, whatever there's a game that hit 1 point, Hard Break or some game that came out that has like a country soundtrack to it this past week. And I just had that on loop. But
okay.
Yeah, it's got, they have what seems like the real noises of all the trucks. So if you're looking for that type of stuff, it has it. Also, this part sucked too. If you look at the gas, I'm sitting on 7. I'm not done with the trip yet. I run out of gas about probably 30 seconds from the end of the quest. So Max had to drive out and give me gas.
You can't get out and like world's strongest man, like put like a rope in your teeth and like.
Nope. That's maybe my one complaint, but it goes against the spirit of the game, I guess, is that I would love to have a human avatar that could be like, that could just walk around and go grab some stuff. But
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of extra coding.
yeah, it'd be a ton of extra coding, and I understand why they don't do it. Just to show you the other thing here, I waited. So I ran out of gas, and then Max had to come and I think it's right here. This is Max's car. Max has about, I don't know, 70, 80 hours in the game, Gassy Mexican. And so that car he grinded, he got it from some map in Russia. And I forget the name of it. I think it's actually called the Zeke. Now that funny enough, I think it's called the Zeke.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
And it is just a massive, badass truck that can really just do anything. It's the massive wheels, has giant torque. It's just it's a workhorse.
So they don't like
the Zeeks. Yeah, that's what it is. ZIKZ.
So it's not they don't. You use your own truck for the missions and stuff. Like if you have like a souped up truck, you'll have an easier time then.
Yeah. And Max, since he's further along in his save, brings his character in that has all the things unlocked. And so anytime I had like a massive issue, Max would be like, I'll just bring the Zeeks. The Zeeks can do anything. Sure enough, it would do anything. Like it got me stuck and all that stuff. Or got me unstuck and gave me gas. And anything in that car, anything Max wanted to do in that car, he could just go and do it. Never got stuck. Whereas I'm in the starting cars hauling this thing across mud and thinking like, well, this thing's looking like it's going to tip. This could be a bad deal for me. I guess I just have to trust the truck or not, or hope Max can bail me out of this. So I'll probably keep playing it. If not on stream, definitely off stream. There's like hundreds of hours of this. I'd love to see some of the, well, I saw the beginning of the second map and it's completely different, much more mountainous, lot more water, a lot more water that you're not sure. Yeah, there's snow. Again, that's what I said. You're not going to see any snow. I didn't see any snow in the 20 hours I played, which is kind of silly for a game called SnowRunner. But the snow and the ice is apparently just a massive piece of shit to work with. Because if you don't have snow tires, you can't go in there. But if you have snow tires and you get mud, you can't go through the mud with snow tires. It just doesn't work out. And so you can find yourself in if you get mixed, it just becomes a massive pain in the ass. So yeah, that's SnowRunner. Tagline: massive pain in the ass, or massive piece of ass, really. That is somewhat fun.
Okay.
So it's on Game Pass. If you're at all curious, you can check it out and download it. Works great with a controller.
Is like completing a mission, like the release of happy brain chemicals.
It's there.
Is it pretty high? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Even just driving around is fun. There's with the wheel, it's just like there's like a calming nature to it. Especially if you're driving down a path that 10 hours ago, because you didn't have off-road tires or you didn't have the autonomous winch, was a struggle. And now you're just getting through it. Like you're just holding down the gas and driving straight through. There's like something fun about that. It's people said it's like the Dark Souls of trucking, and it kind of is in both difficulty and the sense of accomplishment and the sense of progression, because you go back and do things a lot easier once you get better equipment. So, yeah.
Do you think this game could teach you like how to drive stick in real life?
I don't know. It definitely had the people that were driving by the stream and being like, God, I never get behind the wheel with JP. And I was just like, go fuck yourself. Get the fuck, like, what a stupid comment.
I've been behind the wheel with JP. He is a good, safe driver.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know though if it would translate. Like we had it actually opened up when you're driving in a game, you do things that don't oftentimes make sense because you're just testing the like rules of the game. Whereas if I'm in a car or a truck that has a massive semi trailer behind me, I'm not going to do any of the shit I'm doing in a game. I'll get out of the truck and like sit there and stare at something, right? So I don't know if it would. I guess I'd be more fearful of doing something IRL with something like that. Because if you get stuck IRL, then it's a real problem, right? You can't just press a button and winch to a tree.
It sucks.
Yeah.
It fucking blows. Like,
yeah, it would suck.
ugh.
It'd be awful.
Like, I don't know if you've ever driven a mountainous area during like a fucking snow ice like
Yeah,
thing.
I've
It
been in the
is
car with my
so
wife driving in a
yeah,
mountainous area in Denver. It's nightmare.
it's a fucking night. It is. It really is. Just like there's these little like mountain paths in Montana. It's just like from one town to the next, and it's like you got about a foot
Yeah,
of road like to the left, to the right of you, and that's it. You're off the cliff if like shit like that. And during a snow thing, you're just like white knuckle all the way.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
like shit like this, like it just brings back so many memories of just getting stuck and like being stupid kids. Like, hey, we're gonna take Bruce's Bronco out. We're gonna go fucking mud bogging, dude. Like we tore that the suspension and the axle. We just tore that shit up. But he's like, oh, don't worry about it. Fucking Bronco can make it through anything, dude. And like it did, like made it through anything.
Yeah, they start you out in a truck in this, and very quickly you realize that truck is shit, because you happen upon your first like mud puddle, and you're like, well, that's stuck. What am I gonna do now?
Yeah.
If anything, the game's taught me that if I'm ever out driving for some reason and like a crazy storm where there's massive amounts of flooding, don't trust any body of water that I can't see the bottom to. Because this game, you don't see the bottom and you're like, oh yeah, no problem. You go in, your engine's immediately flooded and it's a nightmare. It's a bad time. What was that response, Zeke? Did you hear something?
No, it's thunder. Just like super close. Like shook the house a little bit.
Jeez. Gotta watch out for those thunderstorms.
Yeah. We're gonna have some weather.
Oh.
Which is every day here in Colorado. We're gonna have some weather.
Yeah.
We had snow. A fucking snowstorm in fucking May, and we're expecting more.
Yeah, it's May.
It's weird. It's very weird.
Colorado. That makes sense. What else, Zeke? What else have you been playing? Let's go back over to you.
Well, let's see. What's another game I want to talk about?
Last Campfire? You played that for a while.
Yeah, Last Campfire. That was it's a 100-month sub appreciation game.
Oh, okay.
From a boy Kevbot there. We can talk about it. It's going to be real quick, like maybe 5-10 minutes.
Sure.
The Last Campfire is an adventure. A story of a lost ember trapped in a puzzling place, searching for meaning and a way home. Developed and published by Hello Games. It is charming little like adventure game.
Right.
It's not an action game.
That, JP.
Yeah, I forgot they put this game out. I remember they had an announcement like, "Hey, we made a new game," and then this was that game. Because these guys also made
No Man's Sky, of course.
No Man's Sky. Yeah.
Yep.
Same developers. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Please continue, Zeke.
No, it's all good. It's just a charming little chill adventure puzzle game. There's no like action. There's no attacking. So there's no like action to it. Like no Zelda swinging over your sword or casting spells or anything like that. It's mostly just like roaming around, talking to frogs, and the frogs like tell you like, oh, like, if you bring me a worm, I'll take you over to this place. And you're like, okay, here's your worm. I found it over there. Here, I'll take you over to this place. Back up into this little cave, and it's just about like every map you open up, every like you unlock doors, like that little wheel there. You convince a pig to stand on that wheel and like pedal it so you can get like the winch to haul up that statue thing. We take the statue, put it on a button weighed down, opens the door to a new area, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
It's like the appeal of it is that it's like it's cute, it's easy going, the music is good. Anybody can play it. It's not like super, brain bustingly difficult. Puzzles are pretty straightforward usually, which is something I would have liked more of if the puzzles were a little bit harder. But charming little game. I don't have a bad thing to say about it, but it's not like there's no excellence to it either. You know
Sure.
what I'm saying?
What does it cost?
It is on sale right now. Really good sale. 60% off, $5.99.
Oh, okay.
Worth a look, and you can download a demo for free.
How much time did you spend with it? I forgot.
I put about 5 hours into it.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
So for about $6, price seems about right. Did you finish it though in that amount of time?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No. It seemed like I was probably, I want to say like I felt like I was like maybe 40-50% through, but I'm not positive.
Okay. Cool. Short and sweet. That's the last campfire.
Yep.
Co, what else have you been playing? Where should we jump to next for you?
Recently played Songs of Conquest.
Hey, I played a little bit of that. Did you like it?
Loved it.
Yeah.
Still really digging it. Yeah, it's I'm on the 4th mission of the main campaign.
You were much further than I was. Okay, I stopped map 2.
I've been really enjoying it. The difficulty definitely amps up pretty significantly on the 4th campaign.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Because it was a little easy the first.
Yes, it was
2
absolutely easy. The thing about the first few maps actually is that you have no pressure on you. So you can just like skip turns and do whatever you want. You don't have to worry about it. But when you get to Act 4, that's when you start getting attacked by like multiple heroes from multiple directions with actually big armies that counter your main army. So you have to start really like figuring out basically what you're going to sacrifice and what you're going to protect and things like that. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. In fact, I got up to a fight where I had to try it like 6 times, and finally I just logged off for drop frames today. And then of course I beat it offline. So chat's gonna be furious at me tomorrow.
Yeah, they'll get over it. Just play the replay.
So.
Hey, listen, guys. I just want you to know, people in my channel, you never have to worry about that. I will never play.
People in my channel, you already know. You never know. You never know with me. Yeah. Anyway, Songs of Conquest.
Anyway, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's the thing that I think about Songs of Conquest. It's a new age homage. I guess homage would be the word, but it's an homage to home. Heroes of Might and Magic. It is definitely in some ways simpler. Like strategically, it is a simpler version. Like units basically just kind of bang against each other. It's a little more basic than I think, especially some of the later iterations of Heroes of Might and Magic. But here's the thing: it's beautiful. The music's good. It's the graphics are super cool. Like there's a lot of interactive and fun elements that make it very enjoyable. It's just a fun game. It's a fun game. Absolutely could be deeper. Absolutely could have more depth in a lot of the mechanics. But overall, I'm having a great time with it. Definitely planning on at least finishing the campaign I'm doing now. Probably the next one too. And for an early access product, it's a lot of fun.
Do you know if they've updated it all since launch? Has there been any updates that they pushed out?
I'm not sure, to be honest, as I just started yesterday.
Yeah.
But I do know that it's early access, and they're very active on Twitter to their credit. So and it seems like the dev team is still very much working on it. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
I only played the human campaign maps. Did you jump in? I think there's a frog campaign. Have you done any of that, or only the human stuff?
Only the human stuff so far.
Okay.
I slight spoilers, but I did get to a part in the main story where my unit, you can see in the top unit there, my units are not just human anymore.
Oh, okay.
So there are elements there.
That's cool.
Don't want to get too into it. It's a story element, but yeah, it's it gets more interesting as it progresses for sure. And I don't know anything about the second campaign.
Gotcha. Well, do you play them in order, or is it just a different campaign?
I believe it's 2 campaigns, and then I know the one I'm on is 4 missions that you do in order.
Okay, I knew that.
My thing, and then one is called campaign 1, one is called campaign 2. So I'm assuming it's like first and second, but I don't know. Maybe different parts of the world, or who knows. Yeah.
I don't either. I only played the human version. You played all the old HOM games, right?
Most of them. Yes. I played the older ones a lot, but the newer ones not as much.
Okay. Is there any, from your experience in playing those games, the amount of time you did, was there anything like bad out of these? Was there anything that they didn't get right? Because I never played those. I just had fun with this. So it didn't bother me.
The only thing that I can definitely see bothering some fans, especially of the later versions, is one thing that Heroes of Might and Magic did is it was like trying to constantly make it more like adding more mechanics to make the combat deeper. but I feel like this one is a simpler version of the combat and spellcasting,
Okay.
particularly from like the spells you choose and the things that the map does and things of that nature. It feels a little bit more generalized. It feels a little bit a broader audience appeal instead of like strategy tactician masters kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Uh, what else ramps up in terms? Like, I know the fights are harder, but does the gear get more and more sparse on those fourth
Lots
maps?
and lots of gear.
'Cause I
But
found
of
a
course, I
ton
believe
in the
yeah,
first two
you do
maps.
find a lot of gear, but I mean on the map I'm on now, I can have like 3 heroes. So, kitting them out and
Oh,
specking them and everything is a thing. And then of course the amount of units you get is limited as well. So then you have to decide how to split up them and do that appropriately and everything. So big thing that I'm running into in this map that is very difficult is not only is this the first map where I'm really having to go against an enemy. Like every time I take a turn, I like see them move and take back their stuff and destroy my towns and everything. But this is also one of the first maps where enemy spellcasters are using a lot of spells. And like this particular enemy here, you can see the top left of the map is like a crater where my old units used to be. It's getting to the point now where enemy spellcasters are like decimating my range units with spells and such, which just I didn't need to worry about at all before. So
yeah.
yeah, it's becoming much more of a thing.
Did
Yeah.
did you do any of the? Have you had to do any of the town defense stuff? Because I never like. Is there anything in
Oh,
town defense, or is it you just build a
well,
town and that
you
gives you
can build
upgrades?
you build the town and then you can build watchtowers, and I think you can have 2, and one of them adds like a wall. You can get a wall later. There's like ballista you can get and things like that. So I can absolutely at this stage of the game see town defense becoming a very important part of it. My satellite towns that are getting attacked most in this current map I'm on are small, so I can't really put a lot of extra stuff in them.
Got it. Okay.
Down the road, I definitely will can see you wanting to like defend
Beef
towns
up.
ASAP. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I never the first two maps. All you kind of do is just. To be honest, all you do is click around and win fights. Like there's
You
very
do,
little
yeah.
pushback.
The
I was
first
a
couple
little bored
maps
with it.
the first couple maps are always forward progression, and there's
Yeah.
nothing pushing against you. So there's like you can literally just sit there and keep hitting E and nothing will happen. So if you get a town, you can just keep hitting E until you get all the units you want, and then just go around and decimate the whole map.
Yeah.
You absolutely cannot do that on the map I'm on now at all. The map I'm
Okay.
on now is the first time where it feels more like classic Heroes of Might and Magic. And I actually killed in a very close fight that like killed 80% of my army. I killed an enemy leader, and then not 10 turns later, he was back with a new army. So they can resurrect their heroes as
Oh
well, just
wow.
like you can. So yeah, it's a thing for
Okay.
sure.
All right.
How long does like a basic fight last?
Depends on the size. So you can have like right now
Okay.
my main guy can have like 9 units. So I mean the fights themselves are not very long. Again, they're very simplistic. So I mean the most you're deciding is like you're checking over the enemy abilities and you're deciding where to move and if to attack. And some of them have like one ability they can use. But it's like archers get full line of sight. There's not a lot of positional stuff, things like that. Yeah. So they go pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like me and don't use any thought in your moves.
Hey,
That also
that's
really
that
helps.
sounds like my style of play right there.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm gonna click
No,
this guy
no,
forward.
no overarching or actual strategy. Just like, hey, this guy's got a sword. Go put the pointy end in that guy. Cool, great, let's go.
I'm gonna put my archer on this tall area here because it does more damage.
Yep.
Oh, he's dead. Oh well, I'm
Yep.
just gonna make 10 more. That was my experience.
This is the fight. I think. Is this? No. No, this isn't it yet. The
This
fight.
is
If you go to the very last part of the last VOD, like I literally have been stuck on this fight
oh,
for.
it must be a different.
I was stuck on the fight for like 5 or 6 attempts. It's brutal. It's basically if I tried to auto resolve the fight, it would just always fail, and I finally beat it again off stream, by just like super focusing and getting lucky with a few hits. But oh my lord, dude, some of the fights get really brutal for sure.
Yeah, and we were joking about how we both play. You do have to be very tactical. In
Oh,
those
you do
fights.
absolutely.
Yeah.
If you are not tactical or you just don't do
You'll just-
like you aren't tactical at all, the enemy will obliterate you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So if that's not your type of jam, maybe don't pick this up, or maybe do and make it your type of jam. It's up
Yeah,
to you.
learn it.
Yeah.
So this is a great one to learn on. I will say that it's simple
Sure,
enough
yeah.
to where I think that it's simple and accessible enough. Not the right word. it's simple and it's
You said that with like
what's
a
the other word?
sense of great hesitation, and I was very
Approachable.
nervous about
There we
starting.
go.
Approachable. There you go.
Approachable. Yeah, well, no, the thing is over the course of my gaming career, I have used accessible to equate being more generalized for a broader
The
audience.
term has
But
changed.
these days, accessible is about disabilities and giving people with disabilities more accessibility. So
Right.
it's one of those things I'm trying to break in my mind. This game is much more approachable for this day and age. It is basic enough where even if you've never played a Hero of Might and Magic game, you can absolutely get into it. You can absolutely learn how to do it, and I think you'll have a fine time with no Hero of Might and Magic experience.
As someone who is everything you just said, that was me. I had a pretty good time with it. But I never got past the second map, so the difficulty never
Yes. I strongly
approached.
recommend if you want the full experience, go ahead and finish the first campaign. Because I almost feel like looking back that the first 3 missions actually are kind of tutorially. They're kind of like making
100%.
sure you get all the basics down, and then the 4th mission's like, okay, you know what? You, we're gonna do this. Like this is happening. So get ready because it's gonna sting a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you feel about the $30 price tag?
I think it's really hard to judge in games like early access because generally I equate price and value to time I spend in a game, and you never really know when it's early access. I think that if they deliver 3 full-length campaigns, I think that it could be fine, especially if you dive into like the multiplayer. And I think there's also like
There's a
a
map editor.
campaign. Yeah, I think they're going to do like other types of this stuff like that. So if you're going to dive into that, I think that a final $30 price is fine. But again, I hate to say it, it's early access. So, 4 campaigns are planned, even better. It's early access. So, it's one of those things where sometimes things happen and things don't get finished. So, right now, I think $30, it's at the low point of that just because there's only 2 campaigns available. So, if you're the kind of person that's going to buy it and play 2 campaigns, until we see the rest of the campaigns, you're only going to get, I think I've heard like 10 to 12 hours, maybe, depending on how good you are at this stuff. But that being said, if this actually gets 4 campaigns and you participate in anything outside of the campaign, I think $30 is arguably probably going to be cheap for it. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense to me. That's Songs of Conquest. Still early access. Biggest thing we could say about it. Could still have a ton of stuff added to it, and most likely will.
And added and changed.
Yeah.
There's a relatively vocal part of the community also that would like to see more of that depth that I was mentioning. So we'll see if they decide to go that route with it and maybe make it a little bit more deeper in the strategy department.
Cool.
Is there like just at first glance, it looks a little like I like a strategy game where you can tell like just by colors and that kind of stuff who's on whose side, like the teams and stuff. Is there customizability in that way or at all?
Not too much. I mean, the units on the map and stuff, you all kind of fall under a banner, so it's really easy to tell in the world map like who does what. Like you have a blue banner,
Right.
purple banner, that kind of thing. In the fights, I think which way the enemy is facing always dictates what side they're on. And also generally it does happen where it's the same types versus each other, but generally it's like your race or collection of races versus like the undead or the demons, like stuff like that. So it becomes pretty obvious what's what. Also, it's
Okay.
turn-based, so you can always take your time.
Yeah.
It's not like anything's rushed or you have to like quickly discern what's what.
Sure.
Yeah, it's pretty intuitive in that.
Yep. We'll give a shout out here. Finn Sinitis in my chat says Hom 3, the best in the series in his opinion. The complete edition is $2.50 on GOG right now, and it has a full HD mod. So if you're curious about the genre, and you don't want to spend $30, you can go grab Hom 3, grab the HD mod, and check that out from
Bada boom.
Good Old Games. What else? Hey,
Are they still good old games or are they did the ESPN
I think it's just
thing
GOG. I don't. Yeah.
drop
They
it?
they are GOG now, but I mean they were good old games. That used to be their whole big thing.
Yeah.
Right.
They're no longer Good Old Games. That they moved on past that name. Is that what you're saying? Or you have no
No,
idea?
I think I think they refer to themselves these days as GOG. There used to be like Good Old Games branding. Like they had a little purple box that said Good Old Games in it. I don't know if they still do.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's just GOG these days.
Yeah. They have a lot of sales. I grab a decent amount of games, probably more so than Steam. Steam seems to have the same games over and over. GOG has a bunch of different stuff. I think I bought Anno. Or no, Anno was Humble Bundle. Never mind. I bought a couple games from them, regardless. Anyways, hey, I'll talk a little bit of Marvel Snap real quick.
Oh yeah. I
think,
wanted to know about this. Yeah.
Man, it's
this is the sputter like, but
I've
you know,
spent
man,
I spent like 50 hours with this game. I think
50?
I've spent a lot. I think I'm quick.
Wow.
I think I'm done. So here's the like roller coaster of emotions. Game came out, Marvel game, already in. And it's got a ton of Marvel IP. It's got a ton of deep cuts. I'm super in. The artwork in this game is fucking fantastic. Having a great time. Playing mostly bots because people have not gotten access to this game. I was one of the like first waves. And so in order to give us people to play against, they have bots. And you can play against bots as well if you get into it. They also have real people, and this was on Monday. So I was playing mostly bots. I was having a fantastic time. I was cruising through the ranked system, having a great, winning 90% of my games, having a blast, thinking I was the top of the world of card games. About Wednesday, they started letting in a shit ton of people in. No more bots. I haven't seen a single bot since probably Tuesday evening. I am awful at card games. And that does not translate well into most card games want you to win. They want the win percentage to be about 55 to 60%, maybe even lower than that for a player. They want you to lose, right?
Same like League of Legends, yeah.
Yeah. It's in the process of the game for you to lose so that you can try different decks, try different things. There's a lot of RNG in this game. It's also kind of hard to see in this screen, reading all the text and whatnot because I'm playing on BlueStacks, which is an Android emulator. The game's are only out right now for Android and iOS. You can't purchase anything in the iOS version, so I have both. I purchase things like cards, or card art rather. I'll get to that whole thing on Android and then play on iOS when I'm walking around the house. There's no PC client yet. They have plans to add one in the future. I don't know where I was before all that, but I'm bad at card games. Let's go back to that. I just want to reiterate that as much as possible. It is very frustrating to lose as a competitive person in anything, even more so in this because of the fact that you were talking about like planning and taking your time. If you don't take your time to just like math in this game, you're not going to succeed because you're going to be like, oh, I got a bigger number at this area. I'm going to go and win this area. And then they'll play some card thing where they'll play a card where if you were mathing, you would know that, well, this is turn 5. So they could play anything that has 5 power, which means that they have a certain amount of power that they could put down on this spot. So I should play a card here because I know they're most likely going to play a card here. And this card reacts to them playing a card and people are able to think like that. I'm just like, I like this Odin art. Let's play that card. Oh shit, I lost. Fuck this game, right? That's my approach to it. For 50 hours. And I hit a point last night where I was like, I'm not necessarily having fun anymore. And I think it's because, again, bad at card games. And so I might put it down and like come back to when more people have gotten in. Because there's also the idea of how things are unlocked in this game. You cannot outright buy card packs. Progression in this game is very interesting in the sense that it is tied to increasing the rarity of cards. So for example, there's a collection rating that every person playing has. And as you get higher and higher collection rating, you unlock new cards. And that's the only way to get, at this point, new cards. You with me yet? Are you still with me? Okay. So, say for example, that Jessica Jones card down there. You start out at common, and when you upgrade a card, which you get upgrade points by just simply playing the game, all it does is change the card from common to uncommon, uncommon to rare, rare to epic, and then there's like 3 legendary, ultimate legendary. There's like 5 or 6 above that. And all it's doing is changing the card art, not the card itself. The card does not get any upgrade bonuses whatsoever. The trick, though, from a mobile game point of view is that in order to get more cards, you want to upgrade your cards as much as possible to increase your collection rating. Because as your collection rating goes up, you unlock more cards. I'm currently collection rating like 260 or something, which is decently high. As you go up in collection rating, the amount of cards that you're given gets stretched. So in the beginning, it's like every 4 or every 2, I think it's 4, collection rating, you get a card. Where I'm at now, it's every 6 or every 8. And so card unlocks start becoming less and less and less. I think someone did the math. In order to get every card, you have to be like collection rating like 3,000 or something like that. And there's no way to directly buy cards in the game. And so if you're net decking is a term for those that don't know, in card games where you go to YouTube or some resource site and say, and someone's got like, oh, this is the best percentage win deck right now, the meta deck. There's no way to get that meta deck unless you have all those cards, unless you have that collection rating. You can't just outright buy packs at the moment. A lot of the cards those things are weighted though, so that you can get them sooner than later. And so there's that process. But yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. It's kind of
like back in the day, it reminds me of like when I started playing Magic Gathering, and you'd see the decks in this would be a little bit before the internet was a widespread thing, and everybody was in. You get the magazine, you get the Deck Builder magazine or whatever, and it would show like the top decks. And there was no fucking way as a child, as a kid, that you were going to be able to afford to get those fucking decks made.
Yeah.
So you just had to like stare at them from afar, like, I can afford 2 packs today. Man, I hope I get one of the cards in the the killer deck. Nope.
It's still like that.
Next week.
It's still like that. And I should also state that all of the people that I'm losing to, they're not using, they are using meta decks, but they're not using cards that I don't have. Again, I'm bad at card games. We got to go back to everything I say. I have to circle back to that point because it's a very important point. But the fun for me was like unlocking and seeing new cards. And also like, I don't know how many variants each card has, but some of the art, they have, like famous comic book covers. They've got famous artists that have done a couple of the statues that are like sitting on my shelf. They have a ton of stuff in this game for every card. And so that for me has been kind of like one of the cooler parts is just seeing all the art and seeing all the different types of takes on all like the cool and even the unknown characters. Like they do funny things in this game where like Morbius is in this game. His card sucks. At least for my, simple understanding of card games and the meta, it's not good. But I don't have them in my deck. The fun part of the game is to explain kind of how the game works. These 3 center areas right here are zones. And each zone has different things to it. And they change every game. They're completely random. So for example, on this one, the left here, these are all like famous Marvel landmarks. The left here is called the negative zone. Cards here that are played in this zone, which is a maximum of 4 for each character, each side, have -3 power. The center here is the super flow. And it's if you have no cards here, you gain +1 energy each turn. Energy is what allows you to play your cards. There's a total of 6 turns. Each turn you get 1 energy. Turn 2, you get 2 energy. 3. This one gives you an additional energy, so you can play more cards. And then the right here is the Sanctum Sanctorum, which is Doctor Strange's place. It says cards cannot be played here. So you just can't play cards in that zone. The only way you get cards there is by moving them or some other random shit. And so every single one of those changes, I think there's 70 different zones right now in the game. And you can get any combination. I've had ones that are completely batshit insane. I've had ones where you can play a total of 4 cards in the entire game. I've had ones that extend the game to 7 rounds. I've had ones that end the game at round 4. So you have to like, it's a mad dash. And so every game is like really completely different in how you approach it. And
That
so
actually sounds pretty
it's a
great.
lot of fun, but it's also incredibly frustrating because if you're playing the other thing, there's one zone unlocked on turn 1. On turn 2, the second zone becomes unlocked, and on turn 3, the third zone comes unlocked. Here's a great thing. Turn 1, and the game just started. It's called Nowhere. That's if you've seen Guardians of the Galaxy, blah, blah, blah. It says, when you play a card here, destroy it. You don't want to play a card there on turn 1, right? So you blindly play into the center without knowing what that is. Sometimes when you do that, it unlocks an area that says no more cards can be played here, and you just fucking lose.
They're revealed when you play a card there.
No, they're revealed on turn 2. Or they're revealed on turn 3 for the third one.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so like blind play is super sketchy.
The flop turn and river.
There's a ton of RNG. Okay. There's a massive amount of RNG. Decks are also only 12 cards, which I like. I like the idea that you only have to make 12 decisions. It's not like Hearthstone where you make a shit ton, or Magic where you make a shit ton of decisions. It's like very, very small, very quick and easy in that regard. And games are about 3 to 5 minutes long. They're very, very, very fast paced. Like I was sitting in line at a drive-thru yesterday, and there was 3 cars in front of me. Before I got to the drive-thru window, I was able to play a game. That's how fast it goes. I think I lost that game, but it doesn't matter because I just wasn't paying attention because I was looking at the cars in front of me. But it's super, to use the game name, it's super snappy. Like it constantly moves forward. The idea of snap, which is the thing at the top, is that at any point in the game, you can snap. And when you snap, it's basically doubled down. You're doubling down on the game that you're going to win. And if your opponent does that, the game goes from 1 point, or it goes all the way up to 8 points. Sometimes you get really cocky when you double down, thinking on turn 3, oh, I'm going to win. Turn 6 comes around, the game's worth 8 fucking points at that point in the game. You lose. It's the worst feeling ever. It's truly like, I don't gamble for money or anything, but I gotta imagine it feels about the same as doubling down in like a poker game or going all in and losing or something like that. It feels really, really shitty when you lose. Alternatively, it feels great when you win. And so they've got like some really good things with the game, I think. But for me, like the frustration is so high because I'm just, again, not good at card games, that I might be bowing out here pretty soon, or at least waiting for more people. That everyone that's getting in has gone through the process of signing up. So those motherfuckers have played card games before and know what they're doing. And so I'm kind of waiting for like, give me some like 10-year-olds, right? Let me just beat up on 10-year-olds in this game who have no idea what they're doing so I can feel better about myself. I'll play the game when that gets to that process. When I'm fighting like Stevie 74-3 instead of someone named Sophia, who's probably a fucking dev or some shit that has every card unlocked.
Dude, let me tell you just a minor little story. I was out of Magic for many, many years, and I want to say like 5 or 6 years ago, I went back for like a few months, like actual like card, like hard copy Magic, like actually playing with decks at my local comic book store.
Yeah.
And I went in there to play like a sealed deck tournament, which is, you pick the cards out of the deck, whatever, and you make your own deck. And I sat down, first match. I'm sitting there, 13-year-old kid in front of me. I'm like, this is gonna sting if he beats me. And he fucking whooped my ass. Like, it was embarrassing. Yep. It was fucking embarrassing. Dude. He was having to tell me like, no, you gotta take 1 more damage from that. I'm like, oh, right. And then that triggers that, and you take 1 more damage. And I'm like, you win. And I was fucking out. And I was like, wake up. And then I sold my cards the next day.
Back when I played Magic, I had a killer black deck. like
Yeah.
back when there weren't a lot of expansions, like Singer Vampires, Nightmares, like you
Yeah.
know, 4 of each. Like it was killer. And I was a young guy, and there was this local place near me where they would have tournaments every so often, and I always heard of them, but I never thought to play in them. So finally, I was like just playing something for fun, and they were like, "Oh, dude, this deck is easily good enough to play in that tournament. You should try." And I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna try." So I go into to do the tournament, and I go up against this guy who is one of those dudes that like came with a group of his friends, and he had
Oh,
like a
God.
red and white deck or something. He had a deck where my deck was like a counter to it.
Yeah.
And we sat down and played, and throughout the course of the game, this dude was just getting like more and more frustrated. Like he would do something, and then I'd basically just immediately like counter it or play a creature to get it. And when by the time I got to the point where I was like, I didn't realize at the time because I didn't want to like beat him quickly. I kept putting creatures down, but not really attacking him. And he so it got to the point where I just like finally like used everything and killed him. And the dude stands up, and keep in mind, this is a larger, like not only taller, but also rotund gentleman.
Yeah.
Then stands up in red face, goes, "You were f***ing with me, kid!" Like and starts like screaming at me to the point where like one of the guys has to come in and like get him away. And I was like, you know what? I don't really think I care enough about this game. I'm so, like, sorry about that. I didn't really. And he was just like, what the hell, man? Like these decks shouldn't be allowed. Like I'm pretty sure this card's banned from tournaments. Like, da-da-da-da. And I was just like,
I'm
just gonna,
13.
I'm gonna slowly leave this because
Yeah.
you know I thought the prize was like $30. I wanted to get more candy or something. I don't know. Needless to say, I did not go back to that place.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent of the poker table slow roll.
Yeah.
You just like you got the winner, and you're just like, I don't know, maybe I got this one card. Is that enough? No, I got this other card. How about that?
Yeah.
Oh, motherfucker! If you win, just drag the pot.
I agree with that. So yeah, we'll see. It's bad that I have it on my phone now, because I can just like start playing whenever I want, and I have started just. It's kind of become my game to go to sleep to, which is generally me not sleeping and just playing the game more, and then I get more and more upset the more that I lose, and then I go to sleep really pissed off, which is not a good combination. So I need to probably stop doing that, and maybe playing during the day.
Is that why you taunted me with TFT, the new set? Because you feel the way I used to feel when I was playing through my tactics. I would go to bed and have rage dreams.
I did experience that with League. Might have been last Sunday actually. I hadn't played League in like a week, and I thought, let's see what League. I played one game. Nah, I'm good.
You know it's bad when the voice gets higher. Let's
Yeah.
check out, okay, well, we'll see how it goes. You know, it's gonna be fine.
God.
Oh, that's
Tough.
a question I wanted to ask about Snap just real quick.
Sure.
Do you lose anything if you lose?
Oh,
like
you
I mean,
lose
do you
points.
go down? Like
Yes. If you
do
get
you lose cards?
No, there's no cards. So
Oh, okay.
the ranking system is based around having the cosmic cubes, which is that thing you snap. So when you snap, you're snapping cubes. And so the amount of cubes that you own or you have is your rank. And it goes all the way up to 100 is your rank, which has each rank is 10 cubes, basically.
Okay.
And so 100 is 1,000 cubes, I guess, is how that math works out. I'm currently, I think I got to where I got, which was around 46 fighting bots. And that's much higher than what my actual rank is, because now I'm at 39 playing people. Like I wasn't, a lot of people were like, oh, your tweets are, hyperbolic. No, I was really 3-17 last night. Like I wasn't making, I went 3 wins and 17 losses in about probably 4-hour period. It was a really bad time. And so it might be like my rank is adjusting right now, because I got so high up in the rank beating bots. But again, to circle back to your point, yes, right now this game is worth 1 cube. So if I lose, I get -1 cubes. They get +1. If I snap, we get 2. If it goes into round 6, it automatically doubles. So if both people snap, it goes up to 4, then it doubles to 8. At any point, you can retreat from the game if you think you're going to lose, and you'll get half of what the snap is.
Oh shit! Okay.
So like that's a super valid strategy. If you're going into turn 5 before the game doubles down automatically, you can just retreat if you know you're going to lose.
You know, I never maybe I didn't hear or whatever, but how do you win? Like you
Yeah, so winning is by having the most power in a zone, and you have to win 2 zones.
Oh, okay, 2 out of 3 zones.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right.
If there's a tie, if like both players have 7 in a zone, then it goes to whoever's winning the other 2 zones by whoever has more points total, basically, is what it comes down to.
Okay.
Yeah. And that gets even more fucked up because there's places like the Mojo something or other where whoever has the most cards automatically gets plus 100 power in that zone. And that's been a favored zone this past week, so they haven't waited more to show up. And so it's a mad dash to put 4 cards down sometimes because whoever has 4 cards down will always win that zone because you get plus 100 power.
Right.
And alternative, if you also tie, then you have a plus 100 disparity in between the power of the game.
Does your rank does that directly affect like your collection, like how many cards you can get, or
Nope, it doesn't matter to that. The collection rating is only from your amount of cards that you've upgraded. So see right there how that card had a green border? That means it's an uncommon, so they've upgraded it once.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
What does your rank, your cube number, what does that affect besides who you play?
I don't think anything. I think it's purely a ranking system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you lose rank, it just means you lose rank, and that's it.
Okay. It doesn't like affect your ability to get cards or win or anything like that.
No, not at all. Not yet, at least. Anything's subject to change, I guess, but they're not resetting, so my account will never be reset. Like the cards I own, I will have until the end of time. Which also sucks because people have been playing this since like January. They most likely have a lot more cards than I do. And you can kind of get absolutely screwed. The game does a nice thing when there's a new card that you've never seen before. It'll say new card and it like highlights it, shows it front and center so you can understand it. Yeah. And it does that every time you find a new card, which is really cool because you'll find like last night, Professor X showed up for the first time in my game. It's like, oh, cool. It's Professor X. What does he do? He locks down a point so that nothing can change on that point for the rest of the game. So if you're winning, you just throw Professor X down and then everything is locked down. Nothing can happen on that point for the rest of the game. And so it's kind of like an I win card.
They can kill him, right?
Nope. No, there's no way. Unless there's a card that can make you discard a random. Only cards on the same zone can affect cards opposite them for the most part. Unless you can get them to like discard it in hand, which there are cards that do that. But yeah, there's no way to get him off that point. Is
this free?
Yeah, it will be free. Yeah, you got to just sign up for it right now, I think.
Right,
Most people that have signed up for it, I think, have gotten in. I haven't.
What's their money point? How do they make money?
So that's the other thing. They make money by selling you card variants, which is art, which is kind of an interesting thing.
Like cosmetics only then?
No. So that's where I was saying it's a little bit smart in ways that they're handling it, because the way you get cards is by upgrading your card art. And so you can buy, if you look at the screen right here, you can kind of see it. If you look at the screen right here, see how it has 250 blue points, or it had 250 blue points right here below me? So that is what you can use to upgrade cards. If I go back
right there in the top left.
Yeah. If I go back one screen, the premium currency is gold. And so you use gold to straight up buy blue points. And then those blue points are used to upgrade cards, which then go into your collection level, which then gets you more cards.
Yeah, okay. I get it.
So it's a roundabout way.
It is a pay to win activity, sort of.
It's a pay to yeah, it comes down to what you think pay to win is ultimately. We've had this conversation a billion times. Yeah. Because you're getting more cards if you're buying, which has a timer. You can only buy a certain amount of blue points per day, every 24 hours.
How much is that money, out of curiosity?
The breakdown, is I can actually open it up and just tell you.
And just for the record, getting more cards. No. Well, here's the thing. Like, getting more cards does make you just stronger, right? You have more options to make a better deck out of.
But you can get those on your own. You don't have to pay for them.
Wait, so you're saying that if I were to earn all of the blue points without paying, that I could then not buy more on top of that? Or is the pool to buy blue in addition to the amount that I'm playing? Is it additive, or is it like a global cap?
There's no cap to how much blue points you can have. You can buy blue points, but you can also like the game is you can completely play the game free to play. You can never spend any money and get every card of the game. It's just going to take you a fuck ton of time to do it.
Okay. Are we talking like the difference between buying will take you a month and playing will take you 5 years? Or like how do they work that out?
Someone did the math. I'd have to find it. I think they said that in order to get every card, the short answer to what you said is yes. But to get every card I saw on Reddit, it was like collection level 3950 or something like that. And so if you were to play that out, that's a shit ton of playing compared to you get 50 blue credits free every day. You can get 150 blue credits for 120 gold. 300 gold is $5. Then you can get 500 blue credits for 400 gold. And the gold, there's 6 tiers of gold purchasing: 300 for 5, 700 for 10, 1450 for 20, 2600 for $35, 3850 for $49, or 8,000 for $100.
So if I were to get $100,
8,000 what?
8,000
blue points.
No, 8,000 gold.
8,000 gold, but then I can only buy an X amount of blue per day.
Yes, the max amount of blue you can get per day by buying is 700.
Okay. And they said they capped out at 2,000 people. A couple of people said blue points are capped at 2,000, but I don't know.
Oh, I've never hit
I'm assuming
that
just means that just means you have to spend it at that point, and then you can get that's arbitrary. That doesn't mean anything.
There also are quests that you earn blue points from in game that refresh every day.
Okay. So if you in a normal day of your playing, how much blue would you say you would earn?
I haven't played
on your good days. On your good days.
Well, I'll tell you right here. I haven't played it all today, so all my dailies have refreshed. That means that there are 7 daily quests. And from all those 7 daily quests, if I were to play, I would get 250, 350, 450. I'd get 550 blue. And I get
And then do you get blue for winning? Just normal winning of games?
Nope.
The only way to get blue is by the daily quests.
I believe so, yes. There's also Season Pass, which I think that gives Season Pass XP.
You buy the Season Pass?
There is a way to buy a Season Pass, but there's also a free version of the Season Pass as well.
Okay.
Wow.
So a Season Pass.
You're going to make so much money, man.
I told you that last week.
It sounds like
misunderstood that you got blue points just from playing. But you're talking about just from doing the daily stuffs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Think of it like quest experience.
Okay.
So for the sounds of it, it's going to be a little over twice as fast if you decide to buy points every day.
Something like
and
that.
And then if you get 700, max a day you can buy, and it was 8,000 for 100, then you're going to be, if you want to buy points every day to actually keep that speed up, you're talking about like $300 a month about. That math is so terrible. Does that math check out?
I think that math checks out. Yeah.
Something like that. Maybe even more.
Because it's 620.
Totally doable though, like, right?
It's 600.
8,000 would be about 11 days. Because 7,000. If it was 7,000, it would be 10 days, and then 8,000 is going to be 7,700 for 11 days. So you'd buy it $300 or 24 would be just under, right? A little bit. Oh God, I'm not going to do math.
I'm not going to do math on stream as well. I'll simply say this: to get the credits via gold every day.
Oh wait, it's not a 1-to-1 ratio. It's not 100 gold for 100 blue.
It's not 100 gold for 100 blue. That's what I'm about to say. It's
oh God.
It's 500 and It's 520 gold to get 700 blue every day. 520 gold equates to basically $10 a day. So your calculation of, that would be about what you said. About $300 $300 a month. Yeah.
Cool. Wow. So they're allowing people to spend $300 a month if they want to. That's their whale, pretty much, is $300 a month.
You know what's funny about
their
this,
whale
though?
is who buy card art. That's who their whales are.
I thought you bought the card art with the blue. No, that's leveling up the card.
Yeah, card arts are just new cards to level. That's where they're going to make their money, is card art. And let me tell you, as someone who loves Marvel art, someone who loves Marvel art, holy shit, I could see someone just going crazy. Every day you get 6 new variant arts. You also get arts for free through just playing.
Wait, a variant 750 gold?
Yes. Which equates
There's 6 of them a day?
Yep, which is about 700 gold is $10. So it's about $11.50 a card. And I think they said that price might change a little bit. They're not 100% set on that.
It might get more expensive.
But that is, that means you could spend about $60 a day on card art.
72-ish.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what's funny about this though? Like, just at first, I didn't realize this to start with, but just at first glance, like just glancing at this screen, this fucking screen looks like 100 other fucking slot machine games in Vegas.
Sure.
Oh yeah, it kind of does. You're right.
Yeah, it's very flashy.
Just the bright colors, like
a lot of colors,
the lines of it, and all that stuff. Holy shit!
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So that's what I was saying. The idea of how they've monetized it is one of the more unique ways that I've seen in mobile gaming. I don't know if not what's the word I want to use. It's just, I guess, unique way. I was gonna say deceitful, but it's not deceitful at all. It's just a unique way.
And not only is it not really deceitful, there's not really a lot of RNG in the sounds of it. You're buying what you want. You're choosing exactly what levels up. Like, they're not loot boxes. No,
there is RNG in terms of what card you unlock.
Oh, you don't get to pick.
It's a mystery card. They have weights to them so that certain cards unlock faster down the line. What card you unlock is complete RNG though.
Okay, that's a thing then.
I'm fine.
I take it all back.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. Oh man, I just need to suck your dick for a variant. You got a variant?
Dude, some of the variants in this. Oh my god, some of the variants are like, they're fucking gorgeous. They are just straight up incredible art. And like, the other fucked up thing is when I play, I have Odin, right? Odin's like my big 6 cost card. I really like him. He's like the linchpin to my deck. Play him all the time, see him all the time, whatever. Someone last night had Odin, but it was a variant art. And it played, I was like, how the fuck, where the fuck's that from? How the fuck did you get that?
Oh,
what the fuck? How'd you get that chibi Odin, you motherfucker? I want that. My Odin looks like a bitch compared to your Odin.
You had Odin envy.
I had straight up card envy at this motherfucker.
No. Let me ask you this. Do you get to choose what, like, if you have like 5 card arts for a same card, do you get to choose which one is showing?
Yeah, you get to choose, but they're separate cards. So you can level both of them up. Like if I have an Odin that's like epic level and I get a new Odin variant art, then that's uncommon. It starts at like rank 1 essentially. And you can level that card up as well. Here's the collection level thing right there. So all the mystery arts are on the left.
Yep. That's pretty standard. It looks like
and as you get higher in level, there is more stuff in between those mystery cards unlocking. So instead of every 2 levels, it's every 4 levels. Or instead of every 2 levels, it's every 8 levels, depending on how high you get up.
I wonder if there's, like, back when I was playing Magic, there was cards that I just hated, but you had to have them in your deck. Is that
No,
Like,
well,
fuck, I gotta look at this shitty art that I hate. Like, every
yeah, I
time.
mean, there kind of is that. There's a card art. There's the Tarzan parallel in Marvel called Kazar or some shit. He's just he's fucking dumb. Look at Carnage. He looks fucking badass.
Right.
Cable's in there. They got Forge in there. They got like Strong Guy from the X-Force. It's fucking badass. But yeah.
Strong Guy, I forgot.
Yeah. There's
Strong
Medusa.
Guy.
There's crazy. Venom's in
So,
there.
what do you guys think I should name myself? I don't know. Strong Guy could work. Okay,
He's
sounds great. No, dude, I was kidding. Don't actually call yourself Strong. Nope, kind of stuck. I'm Strong Guy now.
No, my buddy had the complete collection of Marvel cards that came out back in
the trading cards.
Want to say the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah,
he had the complete collection, like every single Marvel character that they printed. He had them all.
Yeah,
and man, there was hundreds of them. And it was just so much fun to like go through. They'd have like their like a little blurb of their backstory and all that kind of shit. They had wonderful art, just like that. It like actually got a nostalgia hit from like looking at that because I remember seeing some of those cards and going, "That's the exact art that I remember."
That's the store right here. This is the store page, so you can see all the credits and stuff like that.
Yeah, Marvel Masterpiece.
Are you getting the tiniest bit of dopamine just looking at it, JP? Is it just like
I am, dude.
Little drip drop?
I wouldn't say I'm getting dopamine because I'm pretty upset with the game right now, but I definitely want to play the game, and that's why it's like kind of vicious because it's like I could play this game more, or I could just like stop hating myself for a day. Like what's the trade-off here? But a little bit. There's a little bit of dopamine.
I would get out of as soon as you can from the sounds of it, man.
This is into it. Yeah.
This is a dangerous game for Marvel fans. I'm not even a Marvel fan, and I would want to avoid this.
That's what I was telling you when we saw this thing last week. Is like this game's gonna make so much money. Like,
is this not something that since it doesn't seem to matter if you win ranked or whatever, like cube points or whatever?
Yeah.
Is this not a game like you can just do the dailies and then just?
You probably could. You could probably approach it that way.
Because you can't earn any more blue without paying for it, right?
Yeah. There's a set amount.
So like that seems like if you want to get all the cards without paying it, you just do the dailies and set it down. Yeah. Right, addicts, you can do that. Just set it down. Just put it down.
Put it right on down. It's absolutely fine. 100%.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll see if I keep. I have a trip coming up this week, and I don't have any games to play, so I might have to play this on the trip. We'll see.
Might have to, huh? There's that word, have to.
I might have to.
Not that I want to. I might have to. I guess. I don't know. I might have to get a few variants. I mean,
can you play people on purpose? Like if I wanted to just play UJP?
I don't know. I know that like developers have done that with streamers, but it might be a developer only thing. I don't know if you can do custom matches, to be honest.
All right.
Yeah. We're very short on time. I know Co's got.
I got a hard out at 4 today.
I just want to show this real quick because I played it, and I think you guys. I mentioned this to you in Discord. Microsoft Flight Sim did a Top Gun VR thing. I saw this in VR. It doesn't look that great on stream, kind of this way, but I will say, playing Flight Sim in a F-18, going as fast as an F-18 does in challenges where you're basically having to fly as low altitude as possible is some of the most fun I've had in VR in a very, very long time. It is so awesome playing this game like this. It doesn't look that great on stream. It didn't convey. I didn't look at this footage. But when you're in there, man, the sense of speed is insane. It's so fun. And when you look out, you can put you can put ghost time trial records, and you can just see another F-18. And when you're doing that type of maneuver, and there's an F-18 right below you, and you can see them in VR, it's fucking sick. It's like a really cool feeling that I've never experienced it before. And this is.
Did you ever try Elite Dangerous? Out of curiosity, in VR?
I never did. I wonder if that's similar at all.
If you liked this,
you
absolutely should give Elite a try.
I
Some of the coolest VR stuff, the dog fighting in that particularly.
Oh yeah,
someone shooting lasers at you and coming right by you, and then they pull up, and you like watch them as they go by, and then like reorient yourself to them while keeping your head on them.
Exactly what it was.
So awesome.
It was
so awesome.
It was really stupid too, as like a Top Gun fan, because the first thing I did was, if you've seen Top Gun, they do this to like spot the other planes. And that's what I was doing that verbatim while reciting the movie lines. Like, he's shaking us, Goose, talk to me, I can't see it. That type of shit. I was like, this is the greatest thing. Like my 10-year-old brain, talk about a dopamine hit, was losing it. It was so good. It was so, I might have to check out Elite Dangerous though. That might
Definitely
be,
give it a try.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing, going back to Marvel Snap real quick, we were talking about playing bots. Have you guys played Legends of Runeterra at all? The League of Legends equivalent? It's like story-based card game. And I was curious, like that might be more my jam, so I don't have to play people. I don't have to have PvP in there that are better. But I'll see if chat has any advice on that. So check it out. It's completely free. If you have Game Pass, you can get Microsoft Flight Sim, and these trials are downloaded with the base game of Flight Sim. You don't have to spend any money.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Is landing the plane impossible like it used to be?
There's only one you just take off in this. There's only one landing, and it's on an aircraft carrier, Zeke.
Okay.
I failed once. I did not do it again because it seems very difficult. Because you have to like line it up and you have to approach it. They also had this, which you go Mach 10 and some supersonic jet and like fly into the stratosphere on Earth, and that was kind of cool as well because you get to experience like kind of like what Mach 4, Mach 5, at least in VR, would feel like. You don't get the sonic boom or anything. Anywho, let's do some shout outs. Co will let you go first because I know you got to go. And then me and Zeke will follow.
Sure.
What do you got going on? Do some shout outs.
Hi, my name is Co. Nice to meet all of you. I am currently playing Songs of Conquest in the mornings and probably afternoons. Going to be doing some King Arthur as well as we wrap that game up because it literally is forever and it's a lot of fun. And then in the evenings, I'm playing Cozy EverQuest again. It sucked me back in on the new progression servers. Playing a wizard, having a good time. Going to be doing more of that tonight. Coming up, we have one of two games. We're going to be doing Outriders at the end of June. We're going to be checking out Xenoblade Chronicles 3. We're going to be checking out The Quarry, but we got a lot of time before then. So it is between Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition or Dragon Age Origins. Haven't decided which one yet. It's probably coming pretty soon. So on that note, hope you've seen the channel. We also have, of course, a huge amount of stuff coming up. Anything we're not doing with drop frames for Summer Games Fest, SGF. There we go. Got to get used to saying that. Anything we're not doing for SGF with drop frames, I'll probably be watching myself. So maybe with Zeke if JP is not around. But yeah, expect a lot of drop frames SGF. That's in just like the next couple weeks.
2 weeks.
Starting this Thursday. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Hope to see you guys here for it. And as always, thank you for watching.
Cool. Zeke, do some shout outs.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Thank you guys very much for being here every week. Thank you to my co-hosts, Co and JP. My name is Ezekiel the Third. You can find me at or / Ezekiel_I on most things, and Ezekiel the Third all spelled out on TikTok and Instagram because they don't do fucking underscores. Anyways, I am off the rest of the day and tomorrow, Monday off. This is the start of my day and a half weekend, but I will be back on Tuesday. Hopefully, if my delivery gets here. Oh, if my delivery gets here, because I got half of it. I got half of it.
Oh my God!
Just need game. Waiting for my game. Waiting for Wirehead to show up in the mail.
That
We're going
is
to be
so
doing
good.
some Sega CD FMV action.
Wow.
Hopefully. If it's scheduled to arrive today or tomorrow. So we'll see. But that's what I got coming up. If we don't do that, I'll fucking figure something. Maybe we jump into another observation game and play that because that was fun. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Cool. Thank you both for being on the game, being on the show. I don't know why I said game. Co got me distracted. He was dancing.
Got Marvel on the mind, chat.
I'm thinking about it. Maybe we'll see. What are we doing tomorrow? We do have Marvel on the mind. We'll be doing MCU Crew with Jesse and that Bronze Girl. That's at 1 p.m. Eastern. I think tomorrow we're finishing up ranking of the TV shows and probably going over a little bit of the Miss Marvel, as that's going to be happening in, I think, about 10 days. And then game-wise, coming up this week, I don't know, maybe more SnowRunner. We'll see if Snap shows up on the channel anymore as well. Kind of just hanging out till Summer Game Fest starts. Thursday will be a thing that's up in the air in terms of if I join Co and Zeke for the coverage of the Sony event that's happening at 6 p.m. Eastern, I believe, this Thursday. I got to check the I got to do a couple things. One, I got to make sure that we could do everything remotely, because I'd have to be. The tech behind it is that I would still stream from my house, but I would just remote call in through vMix like you guys do, and then just handle everything online, which it's doable. The big kink in that is that I don't have a laptop at the moment. So I got to figure out if I could borrow one of my wife's laptops. And also the other thing is if the hotel internet is good, or if the place where I'm going will be able to hook me up with an internet line. I can't talk about where I'm going as well. I'm under NDA for a little bit, but yeah, we'll see. I'll let you guys know. I'll probably put out a tweet Thursday morning-ish to let everyone else know if I'll be joining for the coverage or not, or if it'll just be Zeke and Co. Or just Co. I don't know if Zeke's gonna to join in. That's up to him. But that's for the Sony stuff on Thursday, and then all the other coverage we should be there in one form or the other, whether it's drop frames or we decide to cover it solo. You can find all that information over at jpedia.net under one of the tabs at the bottom. I linked the guys, the list. We'll let you guys know and probably figure that out this week and have it set in stone for next week's show before all the Summer Game Fest stuff happens. That will do it for the end of this episode. We're going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much. Co and Zeke, we'll see you next Sunday. Have a good rest of y'all's week. We're out of here. Bye-bye.
Safe travels, buddy.
Thank you. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.